Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairy Muppet. Welcome to another Daily Masters cast. It's from the WCS Season 2 Finals, Round of 16, blah, 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 whatever. And we actually do have a PvP game for you today. Down in the bottom left side of the map, it is going to be NaNiwa. And up in the top right side of the map, it is going to be duckdeok. So very, very awesome PvP coming together here. And yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. Of course, the first few minutes is not going to be too interesting, but yeah, well, actually, there's plenty of round of 16 games, but I mean, if there were round of 32, we'd just have a billion games out there. We just got round of 16 as far as we know, but I do have the WCS Season 2 separate regions, I believe. The North, the America ones, the European ones, and the Korean ones. So yeah, we will definitely get stuck into them if we start running out of WCS Season 2 finals, but I figure the Season 2 finals have just finished, so we'll probably get a lot of those out and have a lot of fun with those before we move on to some earlier replays, or maybe some other stuff will come out a bit later on and we can just jump into that stuff as well. But the WCS individual region finals, I'm quite sure they're going to be some of the better games out there, so we'll definitely get stuck into those at some point. But right now, the Season 2 finals are still keeping us going strong, and yeah, this looks to be one of the really, really good games out there. It's not very often you see a PvP sort of thing going on in a tournament. But on the other hand, we do have a very, very large amount of Protoss players in this tournament, so can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but I think it was like 7 or so, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more. But I mean, out of 16 total entrants, that is not bad. That is pretty damn good, and yeah, very, very excited to see that many Protoss players in there. Yes, there were 7 Protoss, 7 Terran, and 2 Zerg players. The only Zerg players were xhaidong and Scarlet, and both of them actually doing really, really well, making it into the quarters. And xhaidong, if I remember correctly, actually I don't know if his game will have been uploaded by the time this Daily Masters is uploaded, so I won't give anything away. But yeah, xhaidong and Scarlet both in the quarterfinals, so definitely representing their race as best they can. Now, yeah, not too much fancy happening. Duck going for his second gateway as well as a cyber core. He's got a single zealot coming out. He has gone for a very, very fast expansion. This is actually up at the 4.5 minute mark, so I apologize for missing that, but that is an extremely fast expansion. And I do not believe that NaNiwa does not know about this very, very fast expansion. But then again, he hasn't got a super amount of crazy stuff going on for himself either. I mean, if we have a look at the income, yeah, Duck has definitely got a couple more workers, and he hasn't got quite as much aggression going on. So he's 2 gateways, I think, versus NaNiwa about to get 3 out, and he's about to get Blink coming out. So 1 base Blink Stalkers actually could be a very, very interesting tactic, and it's actually going to be quite painful to deal with, I feel like, relatively early game, because Stalkers are very, very good early game versus Protoss. They can cut zealots all over the place, and they're even up versus other Stalkers. And with Blink, I mean, it just makes them a million times better. They can just do all sorts of stuff, get in there, they survive a lot longer, they can get in and do more damage to the proper units that they need to. It's really, really nice. This Mothership core taking quite a lot of risks, and I think that Mothership core just pushed its luck a little bit too much, but did get a couple of workers. Duck's still way in front in terms of the worker count, and NaNiwa not even looking to catch up in terms of the workers. He looks like he is going to go in. I mean, the expansion coming down now, so this is not going to be some sort of any sort of crazy all-in Blink Stalker sort of push, but I do definitely feel like he should have about 6 or 7 Stalkers coming in here once Blink is up. If he wants to make something happen. With the expansion coming down though, it doesn't look like he is though. It doesn't look like he's going to be going in with a crap load of stuff. He's going to be able to put down some very decent pressure, but Duck getting a single Immortal out, and as soon as that Immortal comes out, I mean all the Blink in the world won't be able to take it down unless NaNiwa has the numbers, and I don't think he's going to have the numbers. So for now, we're just got a bit of an offensive coming in here. He's obviously hoping to go in the back door with this Blink, just waiting for the hallucinated Phoenix to scout this out. And here he goes, but Duck is not going to be fooled at all by that Phoenix in the back door, by giving him vision, and NaNiwa deciding not to go for it anyway. So he's sort of holding back a little bit, and Duck, having amassed quite a large force, having that very early economic advantage, is going to be able to push this force away quite easily, and the only thing Blink really getting him is the ability to save his forces. But yeah, it's a little bit scary. I mean, he's quite far ahead so far. Whatever NaNiwa was hoping to do with that Blink very early in the game has obviously fallen through the cracks, and so far I believe NaNiwa is going to be in a bit of trouble in this game. I'm not really sure, because he's playing off the back foot right now. Duck has the advantage, and NaNiwa is playing from behind. He's really playing from behind here, and he's going to have to do something a little bit sideways to get in there and cut the workers down. I mean, that's really what he needs to do. Just cut those worker numbers down, because Duck is still 13 workers ahead. I mean, NaNiwa is starting to catch up. He's starting to get a lot more workers, and Duck has sort of halted off getting the workers too much. But yeah, we will see. I mean, I guess the main thing right now actually is NaNiwa holding off this force, and he may be able to do it. I mean, he's got his own Immortals coming out. He's got one out. He's got another one coming. So he's caught up. But the problem is that Duck has the Colossus tech, and NaNiwa, I feel like he's nowhere near getting Colossus out. So yeah, I mean, Duck is still ahead, but he's got a tech advantage right now. Hasn't got an army advantage, so he can't really have a major chance of moving into NaNiwa's base and really wiping a lot of stuff out. But he is going to use that push very nicely to solidify his third base. The mothership, this hallucinated Phoenix, suspects as much, and it is going to scout it out. And there we go. Suddenly, Duck is going to have to be on third base watch. He's going to have to make sure he keeps this alive, and most of his force is actually around the back here. I do not know why, taking care of this Phoenix, but he really needs to be worried about these guys. He can still cancel this, but given the amount of time it takes to build this, I'm sure he really doesn't want to. But these are only Stalkers here, sorry, and they're wasting time on the pylons, hoping to stop the reinforcements coming in. And the Immortals are going to be more than enough to chase those guys away, leaving... actually, look at this, man. He looks like he's... Must have been a warp prism over here. Yeah, there we go, dropping down a few zealots. Just trying to do a little bit of worker harassment, and they didn't really succeed. They didn't really do too much. Stalker's trying to head off the warp prism, but not quite getting in position. This Stalker is going to see it, but not going to be able to take it out. And here we go. He is going to be quite safe over here. The Stalkers are not going to be able to run up here, because they will get owned by all of these Colossus and Archons. So yeah, pretty good. I mean, NaNiwa going for the Colossus right now, but Duck already going for High Templar. I'm not sure how valuable High Templar are going to be in this battle, because it looks like there's going to be a lot of very heavy gas sort of units, Colossus and Archons, a whole lot of them. So High Templar, not super useful in that case. So I really don't know what he's aiming for. Maybe Archons. Archons are going to be a very good buffer unit, and with a lot of Colossus and with a lot of Immortals to a lesser extent, you do need a lot of good buffer units. So that may be what he's planning, but looks like a lot of them are taking up to a lot of gateways. He's getting 6 more gateways, And yeah, NaNiwa already was building a crap load of gateways. I feel like, yeah, look at all these gateways. So and now that they're getting their third bases down, definitely looking like they're going to go for full-on macro mode. And so far, Duck is in a very good position as far as full-on macro mode is gone. He's got 14 more workers, and he's mining actually off more bases. This base is only just started to be mining, but yeah, Duck is really going to have to start pushing out though, because he's got the bigger army, but he's not really. Yeah, I mean, so far NaNiwa in the past 5-6 minutes has been doing all the attacking. Duck has just been sitting back, but it looks like he's going to turn this around. He's got 4 Archons, which is a very nice number, and he's hoping that'll give him the advantage, but NaNiwa actually getting his own High Templar forces out, so it looks like they're both reading from exactly the same guidebook. Of course, looks like Duck missed the part about taking his own observer with him, because he does not have an observer. He is going to get a whole ton of units in here though, and he doesn't have storms, so these guys are going to be straight for Archons. Sending a couple of zealots in there. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or not, but he has seen a lot of what's going on, and he does see that NaNiwa actually does have a very nice amount of units, and they've got such a better concave than Duck has. So the Archons will have to hold off against the concave, and it looks like they're doing a great job. So NaNiwa given the GG right there, and even though Duck had the inferior position, he didn't have the concave. The Colossus just absolutely wiped everything else from both sides, and the Archons really soaking up a lot of damage there. They weren't even getting low on health, as you can see. The Zealots probably soaked up a bit, but the Archons really turned it around. This guy actually soaked up a lot of damage. He is almost dead there, but congratulations to Duck for really making that work. And it was just taking the risk stupidly early in the game to get his expansion, and it's not a huge map or anything, so it was a very risky move getting the expansion out that early, but it paid off, and from then on he had the economic advantage, and he just kept it rolling, kept it moving, and didn't allow NaNiwa to really get in and do anything dicey, like just didn't leave his workers exposed at any point in the game. Always kept it nice and tight, all his units nice and tight. He pushed out to sort of to give himself the chance to get the third base, but other than that, he played nice and tight, just very conservative play. And after he got about 4 or 5 immortals, he pushed out and he just wiped everything out. So a lot of the time it's not. I mean, I actually play really conservatively myself in latter games, and it generally doesn't work out because my scouting is shithouse. But Duck did a much better job of that. He knew what his opponent was doing, he knew the position he was in, and he knew, both players knew the perfect thing to go for. The Immortals into Colossus into Archons. It's a beautiful PvP strategy, and Duck was just a step and a half ahead the entire game because of his economy, and in the end he made it work. It was beautiful, and there we go. That's going to be your daily Masters game. So congratulations to Duck for taking it away in a beautiful style, and yeah, thank you very much for watching. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.